Let's go!
What's up, guys? And it's been a year actually. So yeah, I stopped making videos for around a year because of personal reasons, but that doesn't matter because we're here now to review the 24-70 millimeter 2.8 lens, Canon lens. I got this lens around, a year ago, and I wanted to make a video, what my impressions were, and testing it out. Now, of course, I didn't do that because I thought that doing a review of this lens wasn't really worth it, because I've had it for around a month, and I really couldn't have tested it the way I wanted it to give you guys a complete review on what I thought of it. So yeah, if you guys don't know me, I basically do a lot of portraits. I like to play a lot with the light, the sun at the golden hour. It's my favorite time to take pictures because of the way the sun hits the face, and the shadows that you can create and everything. It's a pretty heavy investment. Whenever you're trying to buy a new lens and you're thinking of buying a new lens, you watch every single video possible just to decide which lens you want to buy. And at the beginning I was only using the 50mm lens, also known as the Nifty 50 for some of you guys. This is the 50mm 1.8. It's a pretty cheap lens, but it's a really great lens. It's pretty sharp and it's fast, and it's not heavy at all. So for a long time I used this lens. I think it was for around two years. I only used that lens for portraits, events, or landscapes. To me, I know it's not ideal for all of those things, but to me it was pretty useful because I didn't have the budget to buy another lens. After that, I was deciding in between the 24-70 and the 35mm 1.4. I ended up going with the 24-70, and to me the deal breaker was the fact that you could change from 24 to 70. So if you wanted to take some portraits, you could go to 50mm. You could if you wanted some landscapes, you could use the 24 or 35, and if you wanted to have some close-ups, you could have the 70mm. The fact that you didn't need to change the lenses in between shoots was a deal breaker for me, but still I was hesitant because of the 2.8. I was used to shooting at a focal length of 1.8 and getting really nice bouquets, and the fact that I could only use the 2.8 was really scary for me because I wasn't really sure if I was going to like that. But I ended up buying it anyways, and 1 year later here we are. And for this, just to give you an example, I did two different kinds of shoots the same day. I went in the morning. It was pretty cloudy, so I went with one friend and we went to the city, and we took some pictures with the clouds, the clouds of course, in the city, in the streets. We went near the lake, and we got pretty much an urban kind of photo shoot. Of course I'm gonna put some pictures throughout this video, if I didn't do that already, to show you simply what I took of pictures. As you can see, the pictures are always pretty sharp. That's a given with this lens. And yeah, the second shoot I went with my other friend. I was feeling like doing what I usually do, which is playing with the light at the golden hour. So I went into a parking lot, and I went near, I can actually remember, they sell plants there. That's the best thing that I can tell you. Well, they have a lot of plants, and yeah, we went near that place, and the architecture of the place was great, and I wanted to play with that a little bit. The first shoot, I wanted to show the light, and the fact that it was pretty cloudy, helped me have a more flattering light. It wasn't really direct, and I could play with the colors and the facial expressions more that if I had had the sun. That's what I focused on. The second photo shoot, I could play with the shadows, I could play with the sun, and I could also, you know, bring out the colors a lot more. Anyways, those were my two different approaches to the photos that I wanted to show you. Yeah, overall, I think that my thoughts of this lens is that it's a must-have. This lens is pretty much my go-to now. I don't go to any shoots without this lens, and sometimes whenever I want to bring a small bag, I put my camera. I use the 5D Mark IV, the body 5D Mark IV if you guys want to know, and I also put this lens. If I don't have any choice, I would only bring my camera with this lens and nothing else, because I can do my work perfectly with only this lens. I don't need the 50mm, I don't need the 35mm. If I only have this lens, I'm pretty much good to go. It's pretty versatile, as I said before. If you want to take some landscapes, you can do that. You have a few options because you have the 24mm and even the 35. But if you want to take some portraits, you of course have the 35 and the 50mm, which are some options that you have, of course. And if you want to get closer, you get the 70mm. It's not cheap. That's one of the two things that I didn't like about this lens, the fact that it's really not cheap. It's $2,100, I think that's right. $2,100, which is really not cheap, but you're also buying a professional lens, so of course you're going to have to pay a little bit more. The accessories for photography are pretty expensive, and this is not an exception. But of course you're getting a professional lens. The quality is great. I'm not gonna talk about if it's made out of plastic. I don't know. It feels pretty rough. It feels, you know, robust, but it's really heavy. That's the other problem that I see. You know, I was used to using the 50mm, which is pretty light, and then you get this lens combined with the body 5D Mark IV, which is not really, it's not heavy, but it's not light either, and then you get a really heavy kit, which is really tiring sometimes if you're in a really long shoot, or if you're, you know, bringing it on your backpack with a few other lenses and other stuff. It's gonna get really heavy really fast, and that was one of the problems that I had with this lens. That's something to consider if you're considering a few lenses to buy. Overall, those were the two things that I didn't like too much about this lens: the price and the weight. Other than that, this is a really great lens. The photos are always sharp, that's a given. You know, you get versatility. This is my favorite lens. I wouldn't go anywhere without this lens, and I really recommend that you guys buy this lens. It's a must-have for any photographer. If you're trying to push your photography to the next level, I think this is one lens that you must have. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this was useful. If you're trying to buy a lens, please check this lens out. It's really not something that you're going to regret in the future, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Now, of course, you can do all of the beautiful things that everyone tells you to do, which is subscribe and all those things, and I hope you guys, I already said it, but have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.